Zambia plans to drop treason charges against the country's main opposition leader, the United Party for National Development leader Hakainde Hichilema. The country has decided to release him from prison under a deal brokered by the Commonwealth Secretary General, government and legal sources. The publicity chairperson of Civil Society Constitution Agenda, Donald Chitenzi, joins us now via Skype from Lusaka to discuss this. Many thanks for joining us, Donald, and thank you for your patience.
Thank you so much, and thank you for giving us this opportunity to talk to you.
Indeed.
Indeed,
thank you. Let's get into it. Now, the government wants to drop the prison charges. But tell me how that will work. Hichilema out of prison and the sweeping emergency power very much alive in Zambia. How will that work?
Well, I mean, the insinuation that the state is about to drop the treason charges against opposition leader Hakainde Hichilema are still in their speculative state because there's no official statement that has been given from the state. And also people expected that yesterday, on Monday, when Mr. Hichilema was appearing before the High Court, the state would have entered a nolle prosequi, which would have made him free. But unfortunately, that was not happened. That never happened. Instead, the state actually applied for the amendment of the charge. Hence, the case coming up tomorrow for trial. So what happened yesterday was just that Mr. Hichilema, who had not yet taken a plea on treason charge, had to make a plea yesterday. Making that, telling that the commencement of the trial has begun.
Well, be that as it may, in some world, perhaps if the peace agreement holds and Hichilema is released, will that ease some political tension in Zambia?
I don't think so, because if you have followed Hichilema's statement, he says he does not need sympathy, but he needs justice to be done. He strongly rejected or indeed denied ever committed any treason acts during his political life, and especially during the Mungu incident. And therefore, he's of the view that he has to go through the trial process so that justice at the end of the day proves him innocent. However, the issue of government entering a nolle has got its own merits and demerits. Yes, he will be free, but he may not claim anything from the government because a nolle is not an acquittal, which means that he cannot sue government for the malicious prosecution and indeed the damage that they did on his house. So I think in all fairness, of course, if the director of public prosecution decides to do so, it will be very difficult for the defense team to reject the offer of nolle prosequi. But it has its own demerit on the part of the accused, who may have suffered psychological, physical, and mental torture due to this trumped-up charge of treason.
But Hichilema is not just the problem in Zambia as we speak in terms of opposition and dissenting voices. There are also prodigies springing up every day in disagreement with what is happening in Zambia. Even if Hichilema was put behind bars forever, some other Hichilemas will rise. Tell me how the sweeping powers has helped in any way.
Well, I mean, the sweeping powers that were invoked under Article 31 of the Constitution has actually deteriorated the situation in terms of human rights and the rule of law. This is because people are arrested arbitrarily and they are kept in cells, in detention centers for longer than necessary. One good example was the detention of an opposition leader, the United Progressive People's Party, Xavier Chimba, who was kept for 8 days in a cell a police cell without being brought before the court. And later on the 8th day, he was discharged. According to the police decided to discontinue the case of defamation against the president. So that is how notorious these sweeping powers have become to the citizens of Zambia. There are also some opposition leaders who were arrested in the central province of this country, in Kabwe to be specific, who are also still in detention and they have not appeared before court. So the sweeping powers have actually brought this unnecessary detention in these congested cells, congested remand prisons of people who are innocent, and the only crime that they have committed is to speak and express themselves in a country that claims to be democratic and a constitutional democracy.
Okay, Magdalena, we're winding out this interview now, but I know that your country is in need of financial assistance. You want some help from the IMF, and there are conditions attached to this help, no doubt. And of course, the issue of human rights abuse will not go unchecked. So if Hichilema remains in prison or if he's out, which will help this financial assistance?
Well, I don't think that if the IMF indeed put good governance and rule of law and democracy at the center of their help, they would consider giving Zambia the money. I think what is required of the Zambian government is to speed up the trial of Mr. Hichilema so that justice is done. Because if he's convicted of that crime, then I think the IMF would have agreed with Zambia for following the rule of law. But if he's not tried, then it will be very difficult. And also, if a nole is entered, again, it will perhaps be good for Zambia because the case would have been brought to an end. Of course, it will disadvantage the accused. So I think the IMF, if indeed they believe in good governance, human rights, and the rule of law in this country and the world as a whole, Zambia is not a good case to be pirated in this case, because they will set a very bad precedency in the world where the country is misbehaving and they are busy supporting it in terms of financial resources.
All right, many thanks for your time, your insight and contributions on TVC News this morning. Donald Chitenzi, who joined us live from Lusaka. Many thanks.
Thank you. Thank you. God bless you too.